So how do you know Mr. Hallgren?
Professor Scott Hallgren is, for all intents and purposes, my boss. He's the person I go to for academic assignment, academic advice, interpersonal advice, just sort of any, he's the point man for any sort of guidance on campus for me.
Okay. So what made you decide to teach at Kent?
I was looking for a job, full-time job teaching, and I interviewed at a number of schools, and Kent made the best offer, and I really enjoyed my visit here to Kent when they asked me to come up and do a teaching demonstration and interviews and to come and learn about the school.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what has Professor Scott Hallgren done for the students?
For years and years, I've long thought that we needed a more thorough track system, meaning that we need to know like a sequence of when people should be taking classes. So Class A, Class B, Class C. In years past, it just was like, here's a bunch of classes, take them when you can, which is sort of a detriment because this kind of thing is like algebra. It sort of builds up on each other. You learn a certain set of skills and you don't just move on, you apply them to other things. So he's instituted a curriculum in which that mindset of a track system is much more thorough, much more thought out, and better in place.
Do you think teachers learn from the students too?
I absolutely think teachers learn from the students, and students help keep us on our toes if we do things the right way.
Oh.
So,
Question. Do you think you're a good teacher? Do you think your students like you?
man, I hope so. Yeah, and I think there are challenges to being a good teacher, and I am still learning to teach. It's not something I went to school for, and there are a number of things that you have to be able to understand in order to be able to do it the right way. But I aspire to be a good teacher.
Okay. So, do you think Scott Hallgren is a good teacher?
I've never had a class with Professor Hallgren. I was long graduated before he came onto campus, but I always hear really positive things, really flattering things about his teaching style. Again, interpersonally, I think he does a great job with students, and that's kind of the level of experience that I have. He's someone who's very eager to listen. He's very willing to work with people, which as a teacher, like that's thing one. So most of teaching is not necessarily talking, it's listening and having that dialogue, and Scott's tremendous at doing so.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What would you say students should put on their demo reels?
I think students should find the most varied number of things that they can think of and figure out how to put them on their reel in a way that's short and to the point and would make somebody want to see it again.
Reels. What do you think demo reels should have? Professor Hallgren said that it should be a little bit of everything, like trailers, commercials, short films.
It can be a little bit of everything, but a demo reel at its essence is a reel of your personal best work. So it depends on what you want to go into. If you want to do videography and cinematography, it should be your best shots. If you want to do sound mixing, create a demo reel that really showcases your sound mixing skills and abilities. If you want to do motion graphics, a motion graphics demo reel and portfolio is something that you want to explore. So it's completely contingent as to who you are, what you want to do, and how you want to market your own brand.
Okay, that's cool. Another question. This will be the final one. What is the hardest part about grading an assignment for you?
Ooh, the hardest part about grading assignments is usually trying to reconcile what I asked for and what the student gave me and what I know of the student. Because you know that people learn in different ways and people are going to express themselves in different ways, and you want to take all of that into account when you've asked someone to share their thoughts on things. Tests are a lot easier than papers for me, quite honestly.
I think a lot of teachers would argue that the same thing. Like,
yeah.
Okay, this is technically right, but is this what I asked of you?
Yeah, and it's a good sort of coming together process, and it makes me realize how much more I need to know and understand students. So.